Welcome back to more of Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, of course. On this segment with Rob Van Dam, we're talking about his thoughts on the WWE Network and what he thinks could be done to improve subscriber count. So during your latest run, the WWE launched the WWE Network, and I know it's got to be somewhat exciting for you because basically your entire library, with the exception of Japan, is all in there. You've got your WCW matches, your ECW stuff, and of course your WWE stuff. But they don't seem to be, they're somewhat popular on the network. Is there anything you think they can do that can increase subscriptions, or anything that they can do to better utilize all the great library they have?
Well, okay, so I thought they were just going to blow the fuck up when I first heard about it. I got excited. I thought because they were on the internet, that meant that they were going to be accessible to the whole globe, and if they only needed a little over 1 million subscribers, they were going to blow that away. So I instantly got excited because I heard if they had 2 million subscribers, they were in an increased revenue situation. I thought, man, they're going to get 10, 15, 20 million. Dude, all the fans in the world. And then I found out shortly after it, commenced, that it was only available in the United States. I was told that they piggybacked a formula that was already there, used for Major League Baseball, and outside of the United States, there was nothing in place, so they had to create that technology themselves, which would take some time. From what I understand, the number has only gone up a little bit, and that it's somewhere, I could be wrong, somewhere around 1.5 million is supposed to be the break even.
Yeah,
dude, I know it's the fact that it's a better deal than buying the pay-per-views.
For sure.
So if you do, more than 2 a year, right?
And you're paid for it.
However you figure that out. The fact that it's a really good deal makes me think, that it's a good offer for the fans. The fans will save money if they are those fans that pay for these pay-per-views. And so with that in mind, and knowing, we're in, like 180 countries, I believe they're going to get those numbers eventually. I think they have to get the network out into all of these countries, and if they do have it in all those countries, which they may now, because a few weeks ago I know they went international.
Yeah, they did.
I think it was over 100 countries. I don't know if it was in all of them or what, but I cannot imagine if they're accessible and they're promoting it like they do, if the fans don't switch over and the whole thing becomes unsuccessful in the long run, then my mind is blown, because it seems like a winning plan for me.
And is there anything you think you would do if you were running the network side of things? What would Rob Van Dam do with the WWE Network?
I guess first off, I would try and explain that it's a better deal, because that a lot of fans may not realize that they feel like they're getting scammed. Like, oh, okay, they want me to commit to paying every month. No, look past that and look at how much you spend a year on pay-per-views versus how much you would spend this way. And then there's all the additional programming. I've heard some of the people who've watched it have told me they'd like to see some more original content on there.
Yes.
So that's cool. There's always, all the networks have people submitting ideas. They have these pitch meetings to pick up new series and stuff. That would be very cool if the network could do that. If they don't have the budget to do it yet because they don't have the subscribers, then I got to think it's probably going to happen all organically, because the numbers are increasing, right? I mean, they're going up, maybe not as fast as everyone would like, but eventually, if they reach a number to where there's a little budget to put back into it, maybe that's what it'll take, and put some more original shows on there and some stuff to excite the fans. But I honestly feel like it seems like the fans really get a lot for that.
I'm a subscriber. I got it for my birthday earlier this year for the first month it was open. And in addition to the pay-per-views, you get like old Raws, you get all the original content, and they're slowly putting up like the old hardcore TVs from ECW and the old Nitros and things like that. So it really is worth $10 a month is nothing. It's absolutely nothing when you really think about how much you get. For you, knowing they have every pay-per-view on there, besides RVD versus Jerry Lynn, because we talked about that's your favorite series of matches, what would you recommend they go look for Rob Van Dam on the network? What would you recommend somebody watch if they've never seen you before and they want to, and they already see the Jerry Lynn stuff? what would you say they should watch?
Well, I like my matches with Bam Bam Bigelow from the same time era. One particular match a lot of fans tell me they love seeing is the tag match me and Sabu did in Ohio with Hayabusa and Hakushi.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. Jinsei, whatever his name was back then.
Yeah. Those are all very, but I really don't have that many bad matches. You know what I mean? Like
very true.
I'm my worst critic, I'm sure. Which is why it's hard for me to watch it because I got to study it, tear it apart to try and figure out where I could improve and grow, and that has its place. But that place isn't at this point in my career. So
no, you look back. It was. You know what? You look back, and like I said, Dylan and I were watching all week this week. We watched the RVD DVD, and we watched every match I could find in my DVD collection. Somebody pointed out to me, "Are you watching the network too?" I went, "Shit, didn't even think about that." See, you don't even think about that because all the stuff's on the network too. But it requires a working internet connection, kids.
I like my matches with Jeff Hardy, especially the Invasion match when I first came to WWE. That was the first pay-per-view I did coming in. All the old school ECW stuff, you can see where myself and a lot of my peers, where we grew up, where we cut our teeth, where we put it all together.
How do you feel about your article on Wikipedia? The main RVD article on Wikipedia says you stepped away in 2007 because Sonya got sick, and we know that's not the case. But because you came on my show after that. And you mentioned that you were just tired with the storylines and the drama. How do you respond to people that just go on there and just make stuff up about you and tell half truths or falsehoods and make RVD seem like less than what he is?
Well, I mean, anything when you're online is going to be documented as the online version of the story, and so that's going to be different probably than the actual 100% facts, the way they went down with anything. Whenever I read about myself, there's usually some things that are a little bit off, and it's like not even worth pointing out to some extent, depending on the circumstances involved. I mean, you look at my IMDb, which Hollywood swears by their National Movie Database. They look that up to judge, how valid your life is, you know what I mean? So,
right, exactly.
But for years, you look up on mine, and there's some bogus stuff on there. One says I'm some kind of photography director of photography or something on some spider movie I never heard of. There was a gay movie credit that I had on there for a long time. I laughed it off. Yeah, Return to Butthole Mountain or something. I thought it was funny. So I mean,
that's how I react. But when you look at it, it's like
But something like saying that I left because my wife was sick, that doesn't put me in a bad light. If anything, I think it makes me seem like a good husband. And perspectively, I had a calling, like a spiritual calling to leave. I knew that I needed to be somewhere else instead of on the road with them. And who knows, maybe that was my connection, with the divine that was telling me, maybe it could have been her energies pulling me in that way, because she was sick for a long time and we didn't know. When we found out, it was already so fucking advanced, that if we hadn't taken care of it real soon, she wouldn't even be around anymore.
Wow.
So it was very rough to go through, not expecting it, but it was spiritual for me. People automatically relate getting out of the business, taking a break, not wanting to be on the road, all of that, people automatically can only think of physicality. That's the only reason people can imagine that you wouldn't want to have this glorious of a life. Truth is,
we know better.
Mentally and spiritually, I need a break to balance. That's how I maintain my healthy vibration, and the fact is I'm a lot more durable than the other wrestlers. I think I've been proving that for 25 years. When I need a break, it isn't just because my back's tight, it's also because I'm so burnt out. I'm always counting the days that I'm on the road. I count down until I'm coming back home, and a lot of guys are the other way around, you know what I mean, and they can't wait to get back out on the road. I've always said that. You've
always been home first.
I always have been,
yeah.
And that always is work for me, a job, getting out there doing that. It's it takes a lot. So I enjoy having time off like right now, and someday probably not too far down the road. I'll hang my boots up, and I won't have to worry about being out the road all the time. And there's some advantages. It's cool going to some cool towns, and I have friends all over the world that most people don't have, because most people don't have the entire world as their office when they go to work. There's a lot of advantages, but yeah, having explained that, whatever, relate that to that last question, whatever the hell it was.
Okay.